Angola's experience with climate change is one that is marked by an acute vulnerability to change in weather patterns, to change in arable land, and all the effects of climate change that we used to hearing about. Our message is that we are focused, we defend a rules-based multilateral approach to global action with regards to climate change, that we are very much in favor of a second commitments period of the Kyoto Protocol as the only instrument that is currently available and that is sufficiently robust in terms of rules that can ensure that we can indeed achieve the objectives of the convention. So those are our main preoccupations with regards to this to COP18. So we'd like to see a second commitments period finally, although it's been agreed to, but finally enacted, go into effect. One that contains within it sufficient ambition that will enable us to further stabilize the emission of greenhouse gases, taking into account, of course, those principles of the convention that we all know what they are, and we all agree to them, common but differentiated responsibilities in accordance with each country's respective capabilities.
Angola, much of Africa, Latin America and large parts of Asia would like to see a second commitment. Do you think it's going to happen? Does it look like it's going to happen with the negotiations you've seen so far? We've already heard Japan, China, other countries not committing, saying they're not going to commit to the second stage. Does that frustrate you? Does it anger you?
It doesn't frustrate us. I mean, I think we are beyond the decision of whether we need a second commitments period or not. The decision was made last year at COP17 in Durban. What is to be defined here are the targets. We need targets inscribed within the second commitments period on the part of Annex 1 countries. And we did not agree to revise or renegotiate the listing of countries within Annex 1. That has been agreed to also. So for those countries that belong to Annex 1, we need to see targets inscribed, targets that are sufficiently ambitious to match what the science tells us we need to do. And in this case, it is not sufficient for us to have a business as usual scenario that will lead to further increases in the emission of greenhouse gases. We need a degree of increased ambition to go along with what the science is telling us. In terms of those countries that have indicated their intention not to inscribe targets, those indications have not been formalized, and as far as we are concerned, would constitute a departure from their obligations under the protocol. We do have a legal mechanism that provides for the withdrawal of a certain party, and one country, one delegation, has already activated that, so we know that we cannot count on that particular country, or that particular party. But as far as others are concerned, they are still under obligation of the rules and the procedures of Kyoto.
While we're waiting for the negotiations to be completed, while the negotiations continue, obviously work is being done on the ground in Angola. What is it you can do at this stage? What work can be done on the ground to mitigate the effects of climate change?
Very good. Despite not being a member of the Annex 1 countries, Angola has a commitment to mitigate the effects of climate change. Angola is a country that has just come from a long civil war. We have now been enjoying peace for the past 10 years. And part of this exercise to consolidate the peace has been to engage in a program for the rehabilitation of social and the economic infrastructure that sustain the peace, in essence. So, for instance, our technical options, technology options with regards to energy production, with regards to agriculture, with regards to those sectors that contribute the most to the emission of greenhouse gases. We have made a choice to opt for clean technologies, if you'd like. We have a vast portfolio of projects that are eligible under the Clean Development Mechanism of the Convention. All of those actions are being taken independently of us having commitments vis-à-vis the Kyoto Protocol. We do not have specific targets vis-à-vis the Kyoto Protocol. But despite that, we are playing our role, and we are disseminating within the country the idea that climate change is important. We need, if possible, to mitigate those emissions. However, to do this, we of course require an enabling environment at the international level. And there we're speaking about the regime for the transfer of technology, the regime that ensures adequate and sufficient finance in order for us to be able to adopt these technologies that are typically more expensive than business as usual scenario. I don't know if you're aware, but Angola produces around 2 million barrels of oil a day. So in the case of energy, it is fairly natural that our first choice would be to burn fossil fuels in order to produce energy. Instead, Angola has embarked on an ambitious program to build hydro dams, mini hydro dams, as well as wind farms to produce electricity. Those are technology choices that are typically more capital intensive and that require technology that we do not produce. Therefore, this international enabling environment is something that is of importance to us and something that we certainly defend and argue for here.
It's great, thank you very much. Well, I'll pass it on to your colleague, and you'll ask in Portuguese. Okay.
Primeira questão, gostava de saber quais são as preocupações que Angola traz para apresentar nesta conferência.
Angola está presente nesta conferência, 18ª Conferência das Partes sobre as Alterações Climáticas, com uma delegação multissectorial e também multidisciplinar. Temos conosco representantes de diversos departamentos ministeriais, representantes da sociedade civil, representantes do setor privado. A nossa principal preocupação é assegurar que o regime climático internacional continue a ser regido pelo direito internacional, pelo sistema multilateral do qual fazemos parte e do qual julgamos é a forma mais adequada de assegurar os interesses de todos como iguais. Portanto, enquanto parte da Conferência da Convenção das Nações Unidas sobre as Alterações Climáticas, trouxemos esta mensagem, defendemos naturalmente no âmbito da defesa do direito ou da primazia das regras do direito internacional e do multilateralismo, trouxemos uma mensagem muito particular relativamente ao segundo período de compromisso do Protocolo de Kyoto. Embora tenhamos tomado a decisão durante a Conferência das Partes anterior, a 17, em Durban, na África do Sul, o ano passado, trouxemos agora aqui a necessidade de se inscreverem metas de mitigação da emissão de gases com efeito estufa por parte dos países desenvolvidos, os membros do Anexo 1. Defendemos a continuação da responsabilidade partilhada, mas diferenciada. Ou seja, os países desenvolvidos que têm sido emissores, os principais emissores de gases com efeito estufa ao longo dos últimos anos, devem naturalmente ter uma responsabilidade acrescida relativamente à mitigação desses gases, quando comparados com aqueles países em vias de desenvolvimento. Defendemos, naturalmente, também pelas nossas circunstâncias históricas e pelo nosso estado de desenvolvimento, defendemos que a nós, países em vias de desenvolvimento, incluído Angola, deve ser assegurado o direito de se desenvolver e de poder criar condições para podermos dar às nossas populações melhores condições de vida, acesso a bens e serviços, alguns dos quais dependem da emissão de gases com efeito estufa.
Angola assume a presidência das autoridades nacionais designadas a nível do continente. O que é que isto significa para o país particularmente?
Angola foi, sim, foi eleita como membro, como presidente do Fórum das Autoridades Nacionais Designadas Africanas e como co-presidente do Fórum Global das Autoridades Nacionais Designadas. As Autoridades Nacionais Designadas são um instrumento protocolo de Kyoto, portanto uma diretiva do protocolo de Kyoto, que requer que cada país membro, parte do protocolo de Kyoto, crie esta instituição no sentido de assegurar a aprovação nacional, a elegibilidade e a coordenação de algumas tarefas relacionadas com a mitigação de gases com efeito estufa. O Fórum das Autoridades tem como missão disseminar as oportunidades relativamente a projetos potencialmente geradores de créditos de carbono e julgamos ser um reconhecimento importante dos esforços por parte do nosso Executivo, no sentido de interiorizar, no sentido de incrementar e no sentido de massificar a adoção de tecnologias limpas, tecnologias menos emissoras de gases com efeito estufa nas nossas economias, na nossa economia. A nossa presidência, tanto do Fórum Africano como do Fórum Global, julgamos ter algum reconhecimento deste esforço e do nosso empenho relativamente à massificação deste tipo de projetos, não apenas pelo continente africano, mas a nível global.